All right. Friday. I thought yesterday was Friday. Today is Friday. Yesterday was 4th of July. The entire crew worked. The only thing that slowed us down was the post office being closed. Orders were pouring in till, well, I stopped seeing orders at about 12:30 last night when I finally went to sleep. Got up this morning, a bunch more orders. Amanda processed orders last night at probably 10 o'clock and batched her stuff up. Camry guy's not here. Wasn't feeling good this morning. Got to give it to him. He did show up, and I sent him back to lay down for a couple hours to try to sleep it off, whatever's wrong with him. And I went to the gym. Got a workout in. I'm still going to work out again when I get back to the shop. The gym still has a lot of equipment that we don't have. Not that we can't duplicate it with free weights or whatever, but just a different environment. If I have a target, if I have a direction, a mission, whatever, going to the gym is a destination. There's no distractions. When I work out at the gym at the shop still, it's disorganized out there. It's in the garage, if you haven't seen it. And there's just a lot of stuff around. And I'm like, man, that razor tire needs air, or this needs that, or I need to move this. So if I go to the gym in the morning, I get a full workout in, and then I can do a second or third workout at the shop. And at least if I half-ass that, at least I've got something all the way done. So Instagram video this morning was just about, pace yourself. You can't run a sprint in the beginning of a marathon and expect to finish the marathon. And you got to save the gas. You got to know what your pace is. You got to know what your duration is, right? This is coming from somebody, keep in mind, who's never run a marathon. A marathon scares me. Running hurts in my head. Running makes me scared. CrossFit, it looks hard. I'm scared of CrossFit. I can go in the gym and lift, do movements, compound movements, but CrossFit in my head is fucking hard. I'm sure that it is, right? Just like a marathon. So you got to know your pace. You got to know what your limit is, where you can take yourself before you're going to sustain injury or hurt yourself. With that said, most of us, most of you, me included, are so worried about your pace and setting a pace that will get you all the way to the end. But in reality, most of you aren't even entered in the fucking marathon or the race or the contest, whatever it is. You are so focused on what if, and you're worried about carb loading. You're worried about the big mountain bike race you're going to do, and you're worried about carb loading, but you haven't been on the bike. Like, you don't even know if your bike is set so long that your disc brakes are locked up and drag. You've been off your bike so long, your derailleurs aren't tuned. You are worried about fucking carb loading and practicing. You guys aren't even carb loading. You're practicing carb loading 2 months every fucking day, and you haven't even got on the fucking bike. You don't even know if you can do the mountain bike race. You don't even know if your fucking bike fucking functions, but you're worried about all the piddly bullshit. Those are just excuses. And the new excuse that you see all over the place, you see it all over the place. You guys are so worried about what other people are saying that you're scared to fail, so you don't even start. That's a fucking crutch. Most of the guys listening to this, most of you, and I don't need to hear if it's not you. We know it. You know whether it's you or not. Most of you are using that as a crutch. You're not scared of shit because you haven't tried shit. What it really comes down to is you're just fucking lazy. You're just fucking lazy. Most of you are lazy. Well, my friends just hold me down. I'm trying to climb out of the hole and they keep pulling me down. Motherfucker, you're not in the hole with them. You're on the couch. You're not in the hole. They can't touch you. They can't grab you. They can't do shit to you. And if they can, fucking stack them up and climb on them and get out of the fucking hole. Fuck them. Use them as tools to motivate you. But most of you are so worried about what somebody's going to think. That's a crutch. That's not even the case. You don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. They know you're a piece of shit. You know they're pieces of shit. Pieces of shit aren't holding you back. That's an excuse. It really comes down to you haven't fucking bothered to try. Why? Why try? That's like New Year's resolution shit. I'll start working out January 1st. Motherfucker, that's 6 months away. You said this last January 1st you were going to start working out. You said this last January 1st you were going to start a business. You said this last January 1st you were going to talk to an attorney and a tax lawyer and see how you should set up your business. Should you be a sole proprietorship? Should you be an LLC? Should you be a corporation? What should you be? For you don't know, LLC is Limited Liability Corporation, S Corp, C Corp, right? So LLC falls in that fucking group. You don't know that though, because you're busy worried about some bullshit when you don't even have a hobby that you're going to turn into a business. You haven't even fucking bought some materials to try the thing that you're talking about doing. Most of you never got started. You guys are worried about fucking being better, when really you're not worried about being better. You're just talking about being better. You know, our homeless people in the United States, our homeless people, the people we look down on, the people that we talk shit about, the people that are on the news all the time, those guys, they're fucking still in the top 5% of all the people in the world. Our homeless people have more money and income than all of the rest of the world. They're in the top 5%. So when we talk about being in the top 5% in the United States, that doesn't even include most of the rest of the world. So while you're middle class, you're still better off than most of those fucking people. And the only thing keeping you there is you. It's not anything else. You have a side hustle, you have a job, you got all this shit going on. You're in the 1%. You gotta fucking stop focusing on I'm in the 1%. You gotta fucking, your percentage doesn't include any of those people anymore. When you're in the upper middle income, or you're in the middle class, or whatever it is, you don't get to look at that and go, I'm in the top half of the world. No, motherfucker, you're not even in the top half of your town. If you are, you're in the wrong fucking town. I can't look at my income and go, I'm in the top 5% of Benton County here at Camden. You can't do that. There's only 3,000 people there. That's a fucking small ass pool. Of course, you better be. You employ fucking people. You have to look at, I'm in the top 1%. And once you're there, that becomes your zero. So you're no longer in the top 1%. You're barely in the fucking first percent. You're not chasing anything. You're really not even fucking you put no effort into it. You're not doing shit. You went to the gym. You have a job where they have a gym. You kind of went and did 15 minutes of cardio. I was on there for 30 minutes, but really you did 15 minutes of cardio, right? What'd you do on the weekend? Well, I had to take Timmy to his baseball game. That's awesome. Be a fucking father, raise your fucking kids. But set a fucking example. You sitting in the lawn chair at their game, that ain't what he's going to remember. He's going to remember that when he got up and came downstairs to go to the baseball game, you had fucking breakfast ready, and he knows that you already fucking went and ran 2 miles. He knows that you were in the garage with the weights. He comes out and catches you. He sees you working out. You're going to set an example. Most of you are worried about fucking carb loading for a mountain bike race that you haven't even fucking entered. Fuck, you don't even know if the series is there. And I'm not talking shit to you guys. I did that. I want to do this UTV rally raid race. We bought a car, put it together. Oil line popped off, caught it on fire. Had some problems with it. Luckily, we were running on a back road. There was a house. We were able to put the car out. Got the car back together, jumped the car, broke the car, had the suspension fixed. Car's like fucking set up. It's tits. It's ready to go, right? So we had gone and looked at some rally raid races. One was right over the border in Alabama. There's like east and west, or north and south. I don't know what it is. See, I don't even know what it is. I just know that there's one in Tennessee and there's one in Alabama, and it runs every 2 weeks. So if you contended in both series, every 2 weeks you could race. If you just did Tennessee, you can run every once a month. There's 12 races, 11 races a year. And it's run what you brung. It's 2 hours of daylight, 2 hours of dark, and it runs when it snows, and it runs when it's 105 degrees, right? So we build the car. And I keep talking about wanting to do this UTV rally raid. It's like half Baja racing and half rally cars. By the time we were ready to do it, the series had gone defunct, and the race didn't race any longer. I spent so much time talking about it when really you could run the car stock. You just had to have safety harnesses in there, a helmet, a fire suit, little like shit we have, right? I was so fucking busy talking about doing it, I never went and did it. And that's my example with the mountain bike thing or the marathon thing. When really, those are just examples. You don't got to run a marathon. You should probably go run a 5K first. Unless you've been in the service, unless you've been in a program where you run on a regular basis. If you haven't gone and ran fucking 10 miles, you probably shouldn't be running a marathon. If you can't go run 2 miles, you probably shouldn't go enter the marathon. You should enter something that you might be able to accomplish. If you can't do a fucking run a half marathon before you go run a marathon. Unless you know if you know, is that you? But for the most people, most of you watching this, the 99%, of you, you're still on the couch. Like you haven't even got up. You haven't gone to the school and walked on grass, much less walked on fucking asphalt or anything else. You're gonna go do a fucking marathon and run on fucking asphalt. You haven't even walked on grass. And I say, like, I've never run a marathon. I've never run a 5K. Running scares me. Running hurts. It's in my head, right? But that's the analogy. So when I say that to you and you guys get upset, I'm one of you. Like, I'm in that group. I know this chick named Angela. And Angela she was on Prozac, and she was fucking huge and had a daycare center and fucking just had an in-house daycare, right? Took care of the kids. The kids, like, she's a great fucking child raiser. Miserable. Huge. Pushing 300 pounds, maybe? I don't know how big she was. But one day, she just entered this thing with some friends, and I think they were going to go do, like, a 5K, a fun run walk, whatever. There's not a month that goes by now that she is not on the cover of a magazine. I see her on Instagram all the time. I haven't talked to her in years. But amazing shit. The person, like, they're literally telling her, like, you're gonna die. Like, you were so fucking out of shape. You were so fucking miserable. You were so obese. You have health conditions. But she stood up off the couch. It all started that day when she stood up off the couch. And within a year, she ran a marathon. I went to several of her marathons when I got out of prison. Before I left Tennessee, we went to several of her marathons, and she was like setting records for her age group and shit. Now she's setting records. Like Angela said, she's doing 1,000-mile runs, off-road runs where you run through a country, not the country, like a fucking country. Think she ever thought she could do that? I don't know if she thought she could do it, but one day she just got up and fucking started doing it. Where are you watching this from? Think about that. Where are you right now? Where are you watching this from? I wasn't going to do this video. My camera dude's not here. My real camera is sitting over here in the seat on the tripod. I'm just on my phone. I don't even know if it's still recording right now. It doesn't matter what your plans are. It doesn't matter what your dreams are until you fucking stand up from wherever you're watching this right now and you put something in motion. You guys, I know you came from upper low middle class. I get it. You lived in a gated community. All these guys like to go, fuck him, he's a felon. I see that every time I post one of these videos. Somebody shares it in some group. They're like, fuck that felon. Fuck that felon, motherfucker. I'm in a brand new truck. Just went to the gym. I'm going to let 20 people in my shop that work for me, that I'm lucky enough to have show up on a daily basis and work and be a part of what we're doing. I'm pulling into my 10 acres of property here. And then once everybody's moving, I'm going to go in my other gym that I own. And I'm going to work out. And hopefully my son and a couple people will come out there with me. and fucking better themselves. And then we're going to ship 400 boxes today. And we're going to figure out how to process $45,000 worth of product that we sold in the last 2 days. Yeah, fuck that felon. My point to that when I say that, it's not to tell you what I have. It's to tell you that I've been lower than most of you. I sat in prison for 2 years. Came home, had nothing. Homeless. Like homeless. When I talk about homeless people, I was a homeless person. I was a homeless dude that made $1.5 million in the next 18 months while being a felon. Came home from halfway house and had to convince somebody to give me a job, telling them I hadn't been out of prison 48 hours. Convinced them to give me a job, and I didn't have a driver's license or any documentation as to who I was. And somebody gave me a job. They gave me a job as a pizza delivery driver. I didn't have a driver's license, but they gave me 3 days to fucking get my documentation. Within a week, I had 3 jobs working 70 to 80 hours with no identification as to who I was when I was hired for all 3 of the jobs. Yeah, fuck that felon. The point is, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Stand up and just fucking start. What's the difference between us and them? Well, one, you're watching us, you're not watching them. Why is that? The difference between us and them is one more rep, one more set, one more exercise, one more pound, whatever it is you have to do, one more. It doesn't even matter usually. It's just that you did one more and they didn't do one more. That's really the difference between winning and losing. If you're the first one across the finish line, there's usually a dude right behind you. It's because you had one more step. You ran one more second faster, one more pace, whatever it is, one more, right? I got up this morning, talked myself out of going and doing legs. Had everybody ready, everybody last night, prepare in your head, we're going to do legs. Nobody likes to do legs. I don't mind doing legs. I didn't want to get up, talked myself out of getting up, but I knew I had people meeting me to work out. That's my selfishness. I go work out with me, I try to push them, I try to motivate them, but really everything you give somebody takes from you. You get a dude around you that's mopey, he's taking your energy. You have to cheer him up. That's something you have to fucking deal with. He brings you down by you bringing him up. That's how that always is. It's a magnet. Takes from you, gives you wireless charging. But I went to the gym because I had everybody waiting for me. I couldn't do that. So, go to the gym, leg day, get in there, and I killed it. I didn't want to do it. I was stiff. I didn't feel weak. I just felt weak. I didn't have it. I did not want to go to the gym. Went in there. Kept going. Extra sets, extra reps, extra weights. On the day I didn't want to do it, I was able to do more. What's that mean? That just means that now that's the new bar. You know you can do it. So everything less than that is easy because you did one more. It's just one more. One more second, one more rep, one more minute towards fucking forward progress. Another day, another week. In a year, you can easily work an extra month towards whatever it is you work with, your fitness, money, whatever it is. You always have more because we don't ever push ourselves. We don't ever go to the max. Those people we talk about, they're always operating at the max. Their bare minimum is more than our maximum. So raise your bar up. Raise the minimum, the common denominator. Raise that up. Stay away from people doing less and you will do more. I'm out in the garage here now at the shop working out again because I have 2 machines here that I don't have at the gym. I did a bunch of leg curls. I did a bunch of leg extensions. Again, with more weight than I've ever put on these machines. And I'm still not done. Now I'm doing some core stuff. I hate core stuff. I hate hanging and doing leg ups and knee ups and all that shit. I hate all the body weight stuff, but that's what I'm out here doing. Because one more, there's nobody out here with me. They know I'm not up there, but nobody came out here because if they come out here, that means they have to do it. That's okay. It's all right. That's why I lead. That's why they follow. Be a leader. You got it.